The second grant in this group is genetic determinants of behavioral, physical, and physiological characteristics of PWS. And this is Dr. Bochukova at University of London. And we know that there's a lot of variability in PWS symptoms, right? So some kids have a really hard time, some kids do better, some kids have lots of hyperphagia, some have less. So understanding how genes outside of the PWS region might impact those things is important to understand who's at highest risk for some of the clinical problems we see in PWS, and also for potentially defining ways to reduce the severity of some of these symptoms. So Soleno Therapeutics, as part of their DCCR trial, supported the development of a DNA resource from participants that is looking at DNA variants across the genome that might influence things like metabolism, behavior, and physical characteristics. And as part of this project, the research team who has expertise in this kind of genetic analysis is going to be looking at how those DNA variants influence these properties or these characteristics of PWS. So we're excited about this study because it leverages a very rich data set and may use that data set to better understand why symptoms vary so widely in people with PWS. And that may lead to a more personalized medicine approach. So if you know when your child is young that they have a very high risk of developing scoliosis, you may, follow that more carefully than if they have lower risk, for example. Of course, everyone should follow scoliosis carefully, but it may give you some, additional screening that needs to be done, for example. So that, of course, would be beneficial for all of us to really understand the personalized medicine side of PWS, and it complements an ongoing study that FPWR is supporting that some of you are engaged in, and that is our genome project. So we are doing a similar study using a more comprehensive technique, whole genome sequencing. And one great thing about this project is the way that scientists normally identify variants that impact symptoms is they'll look at one set to do the identification and then use a different data set to confirm or not confirm whether that variant is at play. So by having both our genome project and this data set, we'll be able to do that. And both this research team and the research team that is doing the whole genome sequencing are really excited about the ability to do that. So our goal here is to deepen our understanding of the contributions of DNA variants outside the region to the complexity and severity of PWS symptoms and identify new targets for therapeutic intervention.